A lot of people aren't brave. They're simply unchecked. And there's a huge difference because everybody talks crazy now. Online, in comments, in public, in groups, behind a screen, behind a crowd, behind a, I'm just joking. And people confuse that with courage. That's not courage, that's distance. Some people don't have confidence, they have distance. They'll say something online that they'd never say in public 3 feet away from someone. They'll disrespect a stranger because they know nothing will happen to them. They'll act wild in public because they know most people are too tired, too polite, or too worried about being recorded to say anything. That's not being bold by any means. That's being used to having no consequences. And I think that's why people are so reckless with their mouths now. Because we built a world where people can say almost anything, do almost anything, post almost anything, and then hide when things get real. They want the freedom to say it, but they don't want the weight of standing behind it. That's weak. A comment section is not courage. A burner account is not courage. Saying disrespectful stuff because nobody knows where you are is not courage. A crowd is not courage. A camera is not courage. Real courage costs something. Real courage is saying what you mean with your actual name attached to it. Real courage is standing on what you said even when the mood changes. Real courage is being able to look someone in the eye and still be the same person you were online. And most people can't do that. They're brave when they're protected, and they're brave when they're far away. They're brave when they're anonymous, and they're brave when they know the other person probably won't respond. But truthfully, that's not bravery at all. That's safety pretending to be strength, and you see it everywhere now. People disrespect workers because they know the worker has to stay professional. People talk crazy online because they know they can just close the app. People act insane in public because they know everyone else is trying to avoid a scene. People push the lines because they've never really had to feel any. And when someone finally checks them, they're absolutely shocked. All of a sudden it's, why are you so mad? All of a sudden it's, why are you so serious? Or it's, oh, I was just joking. No, you were comfortable. And comfort made you careless. That's what it is. Some people confuse no one stopping them with being strong. But just because no one corrected you doesn't mean you were right. Just because nobody said anything doesn't mean they respected you. Sometimes people are quiet because they're mature. Sometimes people are quiet because they don't want the headache, and some people are quiet because they know you're just a waste of their time. But don't mistake that for permission, because that's where some people mess up. They think because nobody checks them, they can just keep going. They think because nobody responds, they won. And they think that because they got attention, that they were somehow powerful. No, you were just being loud in a world where most people are just trying to keep their peace. There's a difference. And the part that really gets me is that people want to be seen as real so badly. They want to be seen as blunt, savage, unfiltered, fearless, crazy things like that. But half the time, they're not even fearless. They're just rude with a safety net. And I don't respect that. If you're only bold when nothing can happen to you, you're not bold. If you're only honest when it lets you be cruel, you're not honest. If you only speak your mind when you don't have to face anyone afterward, you're not strong. You are performing strength, but real strength has restraint. Real strength knows when to speak and when to shut up. Real strength doesn't need to humiliate people just to feel powerful. Real strength can hide behind a hard truth without hiding behind disrespect. That's rare now because being reckless is easy. Being loud is easy. Being rude is easy. Typing something nasty and hitting send is easy. The hard part is being that same person when there's a cost. That's when character shows, not when you're protected, not when you're anonymous, not when everyone is laughing with you. Character shows when you could get away with something and still choose not to. Character shows when you have the chance to be cruel, but you don't take it. Character shows when you have something to say and still say it like a man instead of hiding behind cheap disrespect. That's the difference. A lot of people are not brave. They're just unchecked. They've never been made to stand behind their mouth. They've never had to carry the weight of their own words. They've never had to learn that freedom without self-control turns you into someone that nobody respects. So before you call yourself bold, ask yourself something. Are you actually brave, or are you just used to nobody making you answer for it?